Well, hello and welcome to another video here at Capox Productions. My name is David. Today we're looking at a good old-fashioned guitar hack. And the best part about this guitar hack, it's super simple. All you need is a hair tie. The other thing that we're going to need is some household putty. Now in South Africa, where I stay, we call it press stick. It's also known as blue tack. Unfortunately, yesterday I went to the shops and I couldn't find any, which is a bummer. So I've got a bad compromise, chewing gum. I would strongly not suggest to get some chewing gum. I really think that household putty does a better job. But if you're in a pinch and you don't have anything else, chewing gum will do the job. So what exactly is the point of the whole chewing gum hair tie situation? So the idea is we take the hair tie and we tie a little knot around one of the strings and then strategically place it over one of the frets using the household putty, preferably. We're going to secure it to the fretboard. And by doing this, we actually can create a harmonic on one of the strings. In this case, it's on the 5th string on the 19th fret. So a quick reminder about harmonics. Harmonics are a musical phenomena found on stringed instruments. On the guitar, they're most prominent on the 5th fret, the 7th fret, and the 12th fret. You'll notice that I'm not physically fretting the note, I'm just lightly touching the string to create this really pure bell-like sound. By setting up this hack, I'm allowing myself to play a harmonic without having to use my left hand. All I have to do is pluck the string. You'll notice that I put my hack way up on the fretboard on the 19th fret. I was originally putting it on the 7th fret, but then realized that it was kind of in the way of my left hand. So I decided to move it up a full octave, 12 frets, and I noticed that I actually got exactly the same note. There was no difference between the 7th fret harmonic and the 19th fret harmonic. So the main reason I came up with this hack is because of this piece of music that I played at the beginning, the Interstellar theme. I just love this. I think it's one of the coolest pieces of music. Really simple, but if you listen to it a couple of times, it really starts to get underneath your skin in like the best possible way. So if you like the sound of that, why not learn it right now? You can click the link right above my head. It'll take you to the tutorial. It's got the on-screen tabs. It's got a bit of a playthrough. Everything that you need to learn this arrangement is in that tutorial. If you want a PDF or the guitar profiles, check the link in the description. It'll take you to my Patreon page and you'll have access to this music as well as a whole wealth of other stuff that I've been working on over the last few years. Of course, it's really not necessary. The tabs are in the video itself, but if you'd like to support me, that would be one way to do it, as well as subscribing if you haven't already. Okay, let's take a look at how to set this up on your guitar at home. All right, let's jump into DIY mode. So I've got the hair tie, as I mentioned before. I've got the chewing gum. Again, you want to get something maybe a little bit more sanitary, like blue tack or press stick or whatever it may be. Anything that's going to have that adhesive quality. The other thing I'll mention is that what I'm doing is trying to do DIY, and I'm terrible, really terrible at DIY. So if anyone has a better way of achieving the same thing, please leave a comment so that we can all learn together. So now that we've got this set up, what we're going to want to do is take our hair tie, and we're going to want to cut it into a relatively small piece. So grab some scissors and make sure that you have permission from whoever belongs or whoever owns the hair tie. I've got kind of a thick one, so I'm going to cut like a relatively small piece, about yay big. Oh geez, just be careful. Okay, so about that big. The main thing about hair ties is they have this kind of like elastic property, which is useful for what we're doing. This one's a little bit thick, so I'm actually going to cut it again lengthwise. It seemed to work the last time I was trying. So let's do that. Okay, so now I've got a relatively small piece of a hairband. What you want to do now is go to the 5th string. That's where I want the harmonic. And you're going to just tie a little knot around the string over the sound hole. You can move it later on, so it doesn't have to be directly over where it needs to be right now. So I'm going to put it over the sound hole. And I'm going to tie a little knot. One of the things I realized is that, getting it undone is a bit of a mission. So it's good to kind of like tie it as if you were tying your shoes, doing a little double loop before you tighten it. That way you can make sure that you can kind of undo it, hopefully, when you need to get it off. Okay, so tightening it. Now I've got a little bow. And what I want to do now is do another loop because this end is going to kind of like possibly get in the way of the string. We don't want that to happen. So I'm going to do another loop. And this time I'm not really doing 2 loops. I'm just doing a single and then tightening it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here there's a little bit more than I'd like. I might cut these bits off in a little bit, but now I need to chew up some of this. And this is the kind of gross part. Not so gross if you have some other adhesive, but let's just jump into this. Okay, now before I do the next part, I don't really like how long these are, so I'm gonna trim these a little bit, just so they don't get way in the way of the other strings. So just trim them a little. That's perfect. Okay, now I've got like a little tiny bow. Gonna take a little bit of the chewing gum, and we're going to yeah, just stick it on the head tie. Now before we do that, we want to make sure the head tie is in position. We want to go over the 19th fret. Now I know conveniently that the 19th fret is like the second last fret on my guitar, so that's useful. Now you'll hear already we're getting that harmonic. You can hear it's there, and that begs the question, well, why not just leave it there? Do I have to like adhesive it to the fretboard? From my experimentation, it's one, a better sound if you do, and then 2, it also prevents the head tie from hitting the other strings and just getting in the way while you're playing. So what I've been doing is just taking a tiny little bit of chewing gum and then just turning it around. Again, guys, I do realize in the comments, don't roast me. I know this is a bit gross, but it's just terrifying how well it works. Now I turn it upside down so that the actual tied part is facing the fretboard, and then it'll do like a little stick to the actual fret, and now it's going to be relatively good to go. And listen to that sound, like such a sweet sound. It's perfect. Signed, sealed, and delivered. It's all done. And now you're basically ready to play. It might take a little bit of adjusting. If for whatever reason you don't have press stick or blue tack, you can use chewing gum. The only downside is it sticks to the fretboard, and it's probably not really that great for your guitar, or just, yeah, generally it's not that great to do. But I've discovered now how well it works, so the trade-off is up to you to decide. So there we have it. We are all set. Hopefully that helps, and let's take a listen to what it sounds like. Etc. All right, I think that sounds pretty good. I thought I'd give you a couple of tips. Obviously, once you've got this set up, it's going to work with the Interstellar theme. If you haven't already, go and check that out on my YouTube channel. But you can also experiment. Put it on different strings. Put it in different places. Put multiple hacks on your strings. See if you can get a whole bunch of different harmonics going on. I think there's a lot of room for creativity with this hack. The other thing I wanted to mention is I get quite like a clean sort of attack with my right hand because I have nails on my right hand. So if you don't have nails, it's okay. You're going to get a much warmer sound with a harmonic, which is fine, like this. And that's because now I'm playing with a fleshy part of my thumb. So if you do hear that difference, don't worry. It's just really a matter of personal preference. But you can experiment with your right hand thumb nail if you want. All right, everyone, that's a wrap. If you have any questions or comments, leave in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.